are so excited to be here with you in Hope Valley because we are bringing you, we're actually going back to the very beginning of When Calls the Heart. And I am
back
here
before that building even existed.
I know.
Whole Valley.
My goodness. I mean, these are just some things that we're going to be touching on very soon. But first, let me introduce you my lovely co-hosts, because the three of us have bonded over Hope Valley, Coal Valley, Elizabeth, Jack, and friends. The last how many years now? Two?
Two.
Two-ish
Together,
years?
yeah.
Together, yeah.
Yeah.
So, who wants to introduce themselves first?
Hi, I'm Cammie, the hooked Heartie.
Hey, I'm Caroline.
And I'm Casey, and we're so excited to be here. We are
The Hearties Hotline.
Woo!
Your connection to Hope Valley.
That's right, because we are going to be bringing you the scoop, hopefully.
Well, we are bringing the scoop from Coal Valley.
Next week, we actually are bringing you a very special guest. And I don't know, should we tease it now or should we just like make them wait and see?
Give him a little hint.
Let's just say a little birdie told us some things.
Boom.
Boom.
Oh, man. So y'all might be wondering, what are you three doing here? Like, why are we going back to season one? Actually, before season one, the pilot movie.
We're going all the way back, people. All the way back to the pilot movie.
That's right.
OG Elizabeth.
OG Elizabeth.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But the reason why we started this podcast is, you know what, Cam, you want to share a little bit about that?
We love the show.
To simply put it.
To put it so simply, we love the show. And no one has ever gone back that far. And we thought that it deserved the proper coverage. Right, ladies?
Right.
That's right. That's
yeah.
right. I mean, we wouldn't be here together if it weren't for, like, the beginnings of Coal Valley.
This is how we met. We met by doing the show together. So, yeah, it's definitely something special, and it's something that is not repeated very often, and it needs to be pinpointed, it needs to be spotlighted, and it deserves all the praise we can give it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Caroline, what brought you to When Calls the Heart? Tell us your When Calls the Heart story. When Calls Caroline.
Oh. I actually watched it from the beginning. Like, I saw a preview for it on Hallmark. And so I said, oh, this looks cool. So I started to watch it. I didn't become obsessed until I became obsessed, but I didn't become obsessed on like social media until like 2017. So
okay.
I loved it from the beginning, but I didn't become like obsessed.
Yeah. You're like an OG Heartie. Like, you started when they started airing it on Hallmark.
And I watched Army Wives. So like I was watching Catherine Bell and like Erin on Army Wives. So then I started watching Good Witch movies. So that got my obsession with Hallmark, was the Good Witch movies. And then I started watching the like Christmas movies in 2013, I think. And then I'm like, I just started obsessed ever since.
Okay, so Caroline, answer this for me, would you? So I went back and I looked up the promo for the very first season. It wasn't the pilot movie, it was the very first season, and it looked incredibly intriguing. Of course, I had already watched most of the show by then, but what was that like, seeing that promo? What was that like? And then just getting...
It was just like intriguing because I didn't know what it was about, so I just loved it.
Uh-huh.
It was cute. I was hooked.
Hey, that's my line.
You were hopeful that it was going to be good. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, yes, hopeful.
Because Caroline's the hopeful Heartie.
That's right. She is. You are the oldest of the three of us because I think Cammie and
Oldest Heartie.
Yeah, the oldest Heartie. Because I think Cammie and I started watching about probably around the same time. Cammie?
2016?
Okay, so I'm before you.
Okay.
I started watching 2015. I was on maternity leave, and I watched the Netflix when season 1 and season 2 were on Netflix because my best friend told me after I was griping to her about having nothing else to watch on TV. She was like, "You need to watch When Calls the Heart. It's on Netflix." And I'm like, I'll be honest. And I'm sorry. I mean, I love Jeanette Oak. I have her books. I've read her books since like I was in junior high. And of course, there's another series out there, man, called Love Comes Softly.
Oh man.
And my mom got the 4-box DVDs from Walmart. And I watched them. I loved the first one. And then I kept going. And then something happens and I'm still triggered by it. What is this? 2020? 12 years later, 13 years later. And then
what were you triggered by?
If you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, pause this and then fast forward maybe about like a minute. Okay, you're gone. Okay, great. I was triggered by the fact that they killed off Willie.
Okay, now yes, killing off Willie was just wrong. Logan Bartholomew was incredibly nice to look at.
Right?
He sure was, especially for the 17-year-old me.
Oh,
I know, right?
But it was 19-year-old me when I saw it.
Oh, there you go.
Hello.
Yeah. So after that, I was like, I can't watch anything else that they make from Jeanette Oak because they're just gonna crush my little heart. But I had nothing else to watch, so I was like, you know what? She always gives me really good recommendations. I'm gonna watch When Calls the Heart. I've got nothing better to do. Well, I mean, I want to be like, I've got nothing better to do. I have a baby, my first child. And, I watched it. My husband was working nights, so I was literally like alone. I think I started at 4:00 in the afternoon, like right when he was leaving. And I binge watched the first 2 seasons in like 24 hours. I'm not even kidding you. It was so bad. It was so good. Like it was bad for me because I was literally like up. But when you have an infant, what are you gonna do when they're crying every 2 hours and you need to feed them every 2 hours? You might as well entertain yourself. So
seriously,
I mean, so that is my little When Calls the Heart story. I started watching the fall winter of 2015 on maternity leave, and then I was like, oh my goodness, season 3 is not out yet. There's a Christmas movie. What? And so I tried to figure out a way because we didn't have the Hallmark channel. And I was like, I can't wait for this to be on Netflix. So I went online and I was like, okay, how can I convince my husband to let us change our cable network? So we had Cox and they were expensive. And I was like, DirecTV has a 2-year thing where you can get it for $19.99 a month. So we're going to sign up for that. So I told my husband, let's cut our cable bill by switching over. And then I got my Hallmark. And then I was able to watch it. Guilt-free because I saved us some money.
Yay!
So thank you to my bestie for sharing the world of Cole/Hope Valley. And thank you to my husband for letting me save us some money on our cable bill so I could continue my obsession with When Calls the Heart.
Thanks, husband.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Casey. So my turn.
Yeah.
Well, this is kind of similar to Casey. My story starts when I was pregnant with my son, Liam. He's my 3rd child, and I had horrible insomnia, really bad insomnia, and I just could not sleep. And I already had 2 children, and my body just gets worse with every pregnancy. And so I was on the couch not doing much at all. I could barely do anything. And so I had seen promos for season 3. I had seen promos for season 3 of When Calls the Heart. Didn't really know what it was about. I started kind of getting interested in Hallmark. I had watched Hallmark movies, but there was no Hallmark channel back in the 90s. There were just movies that were made by Hallmark. And so I had watched a lot of those. And then I started watching Hallmark movies because of name recognition. You know, I would see this movie starring Danica McKellar. Oh, wow, she's still acting? I want to see what she's up to, you know? And so I would go and I would go and watch the movie, and it was on Hallmark, you know? And so, and then I found the Christmas movies because I love Christmas. And so I'm always desperate to watch anything Christmas at Christmas time. And so, of course, I found a lot of Christmas movies on Hallmark. So, but yeah, I started seeing promos for When Calls the Heart season 3. And my husband and I were kind of sort of into Once Upon a Time at that.
Yes.
Yeah. But I was really frustrated with the fact that I was really into Once Upon a Time, because, you know, it would bug me, and I would be on just enough of a cliffhanger to come back. But then watching, I would get all ticked off, you know?
Yes.
So I took one look at the promo, and I looked at my husband and I said, I'm not getting into that show. And he just kind of looks at me and goes, why not? It looks like something you would enjoy. It looks like something you'd like. And I said, nope, not going to do it, because I do not want to get into another show and become a slave to it. Okay. Yeah.
They got you hooked, line and sinker.
I know, the joke's on me. Anyway, so I'm up one night, I cannot sleep, and I can't get comfortable, and so I'm on Netflix. I can't even remember what I was watching, but I was watching something, and at the end, you know how Netflix used to come on with the choices of what to watch next? They still do it, but it's a different, it's a different format now. And so I saw When Calls the Heart on my choices, and I went, okay, fine. You know, and this was probably January at this point. And so it's just, so then I was like, okay, fine, I'll give it a shot. And I start watching, and immediately when Erin peeks her head through the window as Elizabeth,
Hooked?
what was that?
I said you were hooked.
Well, no, it wasn't that. But when she peeked through, I had seen a little bit of Cookie Cutter Christmas. And so I knew her face. And so when she peeked through, I went, oh, that girl. You know? And so immediately I was very intrigued. And then I start watching, so I'm on Netflix, remember? And so then the sequence, the introduction sequence comes on, and it says based on the books by Jeanette Oke. And I went, oh, because like Casey, I had watched all of the Love Comes Softly series. And
well, I didn't watch all of them. I stopped at number 4.
Right,
I watched them all.
I watched pretty much all of them. And, you know, and for a 19-year-old girl looking at Logan Bartholomew and just seeing the way that these movies were translated from book to screen, you know, it's like, I think I'm going to like this, you know? And then I saw Michael Landon Jr.'s name. I said, okay. All right. This is good. Cause I'm a Little House on the Prairie girl. I love Little House. And that's what got me into Love Comes Softly, because a friend gave it to me for my birthday. I was like, what is this? And so, well, I know how much you love romance movies, and you know, we like them to be clean. Like, and like, so watch this, you know? And so then I saw Michael Landon Jr. I'm like, oh, Michael Landon Jr. Okay, so it's all just a stepping stone. And so I watched the first episode, and I'm kind of doing this. I'm getting closer and closer to the screen, and then it's over. I'm like, next episode.
Same.
See, I wish I had the chance to watch it like that, like on
Binging.
Netflix. Yeah.
And before you know it, I had watched pretty much the first season in its entirety, and I still remember the first time I watched the season 1 finale. I won't give any spoilers away now, but can I just say, oh my gosh.
I know.
And then I went through season 2. I went through season 2 really fast because I found that season 2 was not my favorite. So I was not trying to savor anything. And so, yeah, I went through season 2 very quickly. And then I watched the Christmas movie.
Oh, that was so
and
cool.
the New Year's movie. I watched I watched A New Year's Wish and the first 2 episodes of season 3 on demand, and then I was current and I watched season 3, and then I've been current ever since. So
Cool.
So basically, if you are either pregnant or you have a very young infant, this is the show for you.
This is a really good show.
At 1 a.m.
Oh my goodness. But I was immediately drawn to it. I just thought it was wonderful. And then, of course, growing up on Full House, loved seeing Lori Loughlin in there. That was another pull for me. And then the story just sold itself. The story just sold itself, and I was so enraptured. That's a really good word for it. I was so enraptured by it all. And so when my husband suggested 2 years ago that 2.5 years ago that I start a blog, I'm like, what about? Because I'd never even followed a blog, much less created one. He said, about One Calls the Heart. I'm like, okay, that's not a bad idea. But this show has led me to start writing. I've started to write, and I met one of my best friends, and we're now writing a novel together. I met these ladies that I can't even imagine my life without now. And I love you ladies. And then it got me wanting to act again. I majored in theater, and I just kind of pushed acting aside to raise a family. And watching this show, it got my actor's heart pumping again. And I was like, oh, I want to act again. I want to perform again. And I haven't had that many opportunities, but it's still there, and I'm going to keep trying. And so, yeah, this show has done so many things for me, creatively, personally, all that kind of stuff. And we'll just bypass the fact that my youngest son is nicknamed Jack. Excuse me.
Oh, now. And he was born after you started watching the show?
Maybe. He's named after my Uncle Jack. I do have an Uncle Jack.
Hey, I have a chicken named Lizzie, so.
But it's true. My son, Jonathan, I refuse to let him be called Johnny. His nickname is Jack. And when my brother tries to call him Jack from The Incredibles, I say no. His name is Jonathan or Jack. You may not call him Jack.
That's so funny. Too funny. But we are all hooked, happy, and hopeful over here.
We love it. We love the show, and it's a good show to love.
Yes, it leaves you with all, because I have some like medical stuff. So when I'm feeling like when I have a flare or something, or I don't feel good, like I always watch a show, and it always just makes me feel better. Especially season 3.
Yo, I
just
love
see-
season 3.
Oh, season 3 is a good one.
that's my go-to, season 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And then like for me, I just appreciate the clean family entertainment. I think you know, I have a very eclectic taste in TV and movies. But I appreciate clean television now, being a mom to two young children, because I don't want to be like having to explain something that they shouldn't know at
Or cover
5
their
and 3
ears.
or so. Yeah, they're 5 and 3. And
Yeah.
so you know, I really appreciate the fact that this show is pretty squeaky clean, and I don't have to worry about it being on, you know, on TV in the background. Whereas before, and that was a big shift for me when I became a mom, was like making sure that the entertainment in our house was appropriate, age appropriate. So that was a big selling point for me. And then it was also the humor in season 1. I was not expecting.
The witty banter.
There was a lot of witty banter. I'm not gonna lie. I am not an original Hallmark Channel movie fan. I always found them really kind of cheesy, but so I had really low expectations going into House of Heart, especially after, you know, my crushed heart from Love Comes Softly. But when that first episode, and usually for me, it's like if I don't get hooked the first episode, I'm probably not gonna like it.
You're gone.
Like, 1, 2, 3, but the first, I was hooked. Like I was sucked in because I found the witty banter very comical. I found just Elizabeth and all the shenanigans that she was getting into, just like one after the other, and I was like cracking up. And then the other thing too, it brings me to a happy place.
Yes.
As the happy party.
So funny story. After I found it, I posted all over Facebook, everybody, I found a great show. You all need to try it. I didn't know about the Facebook group until probably a year later. I can't even remember how long I've been a member of the group, but I had no idea that group even existed. I was just, you know, enjoying the show.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about it either.
Yeah. So after I found it, you know, I'm spreading the word to everybody, and I tell my mom, I say, okay, Mom, I found something that you and I need to watch together. And we were living in the same house at the time, because we were saving for a new house. And so my mom comes home, and she had a really, really hard day at work. And I could tell that she was just frustrated, and she's kind of going about the house doing what needs to be done, but she's getting really frustrated. And I felt bad because I couldn't do as much around the house as I needed to, because I was pregnant and I couldn't bend over and all of that. And so I was just feeling rotten. And so she was just really frustrated. And I said, hey, Mom, we don't have to do this tonight. She said, no, it's fine. And so, but one episode, that's it. Like, wouldn't dream of it. That's fine. Yes, fine. One episode. We sit down, we start watching it. About halfway through, she says, how long are these? 40. They're 40 minutes. Let's watch another one when this is done. Okay. And I've had people over to my house to just watch the show if they didn't have it available to them, or I've had Hearty parties for the premieres and the finales. And one of my dear friends here, she said, you know, you leave that when the show is over, instead of going, oh, you go, ah.
Or oh man, that's
yeah, that definitely has a lot to do with it. So yeah, it's just, I mean, it's contagious. And then, you know, for all of us out there who are hopeless romantics, but so much of the TV romance just goes straight to scandal and straight to the dirty. And, you know, and that's not romance to me, you know, and this show really captures true romance. And I don't have to worry about watching it because it's clean. which is fantastic. So, yeah.
All right. So speaking
That's
of
enough
romance,
gushing.
We love this show.
We love this show.
do we though? Do we?
I
No, I'm
don't
just
know.
kidding.
We
Now
don't
figure
talk
it
about it
out.
all the time.
We'll figure it out by the end of the podcast.
You're right. Okay, now serious question. Who is going to be the mop?
Oh gosh. I think we better bring in a fourth party to be the mop. Okay, Hearties, we need to explain this. So Casey and I, we do another podcast for the show Signed, Sealed, Delivered with our friend Jess. Casey and I are the hopeless romantics. We're the resident hopeless romantics of the show. Jess isn't as much. And so we always tease her that when we start crying and getting emotional, she's the mop. And so she comes and mops us up. But I don't know, the three of us are pretty.
I think
We'll
goners.
get my husband. He doesn't like the show. So we'll get my husband to be the mop. Honey, can you come mop me up again?
Oh man, this is gonna be so fun, y'all.
I
It
know,
is.
I'm
So
excited.
Fun. So what is one thing we should share with our listeners, like about our podcast? Because podcasts, there's like millions of them out there.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own style. Everybody has their own way of critiquing, reviewing a TV show, movie, series, etc. What should our listeners expect on here?
I think one
Gushing.
thing.
No,
Oh,
none of that. None of that.
No, none of that. I know there's definitely going to be gushing, so be forewarned. I think that one thing that people need to expect is that we're going to be a happy medium because we are going to gush. There's no doubt about it. We're going to gush. But if there's something that we don't like, or there's something that we don't agree with, or say, hey, maybe they can try this next time, we're going to say it. Everything's not going to be rainbows, but it's not all going to be critical either.
Right.
I think that is one thing that people can expect from us is we love this show, but we're also going to look at it with an analytical eye. And maybe there won't be anything to be critical about in a certain episode, and that's okay. But I do think that people can expect a nice happy medium.
Yeah,
I like that. That's good.
I definitely like that. Yes, I agree. We are also hoping to get some guests. We've already had a few that we've recorded.
Yes,
a few guests that have appeared in season 1. And we're hoping to get some more. So
wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
let us know who you want us to try and get.
Or if you want to come on, let us know.
We will do our darndest. Oh, we can also expect to have some Hearty guests.
Yeah,
we're going to have Hearty fans come on with us and recap an episode. So if that's something that interests you, then let us know.
All right. Before we get into our fun segment, I mean, not that we haven't been having fun already, but one word to describe When Calls the Heart.
Ooh, one word?
Yes.
Heart.
Boo! That's cheating.
I'm copying Jack Wagner, okay?
No, come on. You can't use a word in the title.
Loving.
Okay. I say enchanting.
Oh, that's a good word. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I have my word on that.
You have your word.
Delightful.
Oh, that's a good one. Well, Casey.
Did I change my word?
Nope. Sure.
terrific.
There you go.
Yeah.
Terrific? Is that what you said?
Terrific, yeah.
Okay.
I said terrific. But
Okay.
terrific.
So, Casey, before we do our fun segment, speaking of delightful, isn't there something that we want to tell a certain somebody since it's so close to her special day?
Absolutely. Somebody on When It Calls the Heart has a birthday coming up on Saturday, September 5th.
So, Caroline, what do you want to say to Miss Erin Krakow for her birthday?
Happy birthday, Erin. I hope it's the best ever.
Happy birthday, Erin. You are one of our reasons for living. As a podcast, we would not be alive as a podcast without you. You run a great show. We love you. We love your character. We love watching you. Hope that it's a wonderful day and that you are happy and healthy and that you have so much fun and that you get to do a little something special for yourself, because I'm assuming you're going to have to be filming. So, so do something special for yourself. Mwah. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Erin. I hope you have a wonderful day. Make sure that Kevin doesn't tease you too much today.
Oh, goodness.
Hope someone brings watermelon to set.
Oh, yes. Somebody better bring watermelon to set.
And maybe
a Cinnabon.
I was going to say, maybe somebody ship a Cinnabon over there to Vancouver, Langley. This place behind me. But Erin, we hope you enjoy your very special day.
Hearties, this is my son Liam. His real name is William and his middle name is Lee. So he's got two Hardy names. So he's a big time Hardy. And it just so happens that he and Erin have the same birthday this Saturday. So Liam, how old are you going to be on your birthday? 4. 4. So can you say happy birthday, Erin?
Happy birthday, Erin.
Good job. Okay. Thanks, buddy.
Bye, Leah.
Bye, Liam.
Oh, that's so sweet.
He's saying bye.
Oh, he would fit in right at home with those little Hope Valley kids.
Yes.
He would. He would love that.
All right. Usually we'd ask this to our guests the Hope Valley way, but since we're the podcast, we're not actors or anything, we're going to ask as though we're going to twist it so that it makes sense for our podcast. So the first question.
This is fun because we never ask ourselves the team beat
There you
question.
go.
So,
Yeah, there you go.
This is fun.
All right. Who is likely to break out into song during the middle of a podcast?
Me.
It's Cammie.
Cammie.
I am not ashamed to deny it.
What about dance?
I am not ashamed. Oh, sorry.
What about dance?
Casey.
Casey.
I do the little thingies.
You do little thingies.
If you are also a Signed Sealed Delivered fan, you can watch Cammie and I on there, and you might see me do a little like
a little bit of dancing.
All right, who is most likely to play a prank?
It's kind of hard to play virtual prank.
It would be Cammie.
What? Oh, okay, wait, that's kind of true.
It would be Cammie.
Okay.
I would probably be second. No lie.
I've done it before.
She has done it before. She did do it before.
I'm sorry.
It was funny though. It was hysterical. She freaked me and Jess out on, Deliver Me a podcast. She told us our guest was there, and our guest was not there. And we had been waiting for this guest because the guest was running a little late, and I was wrapping my husband's birthday gift, and so I popped out of the floor. Jess is sliding onto her bed or whatever to get on the computer, and Cammie's over there cackling at us.
Cammie.
So's Cammy.
That's me. That's what people say.
There's the singing.
Oh, sorry.
Alrighty. Who would most likely to be found sneaking a drink or a snack?
Caroline.
Me.
Yep, definitely.
I love food.
Okay.
She's gonna take bites of that watermelon.
Yeah. Okay, so this one's a hard one.
Oh.
Mm.
Who is most likely to crack up first during recording?
Oh man.
Casey or Cammy, both.
Or you?
Or me.
Oh gosh.
If I look at Cammy, I laugh. So when and she's laughing, I start
wow.
laughing. When you're laughing, I start to laugh.
It's true. When you start laughing, I start laughing. Or when you make a facial expression,
Mm-hmm.
I start laughing, especially when it's like during a time when somebody is just said something funny and they go into something serious,
Yeah.
or they mess up, like on our other podcast.
Are you having trouble talking because you're trying not to laugh at my
I'm trying not to look at you.
Yeah.
By the way, friends, you can
Oh,
look
dear.
up #CrackUpCammy on Twitter and find
Okay. Okay.
all the crack
There's
ups.
Crack up Casey too. Thank you very much.
Is there Cup Caroline? No. So y'all too.
Well, that's because this podcast is still incredibly new, Caroline.
Oh,
There is
yes.
time. There is time, my
I'm
friend.
gonna keep my straight face.
No, you will be initiated into the crack up
Oh yes,
club.
you shall. You shall be initiated. I don't care how long it takes. It has become my life mission now.
Wahaha. Alrighty. What is your favorite thing about Elizabeth?
Oh gosh.
Mm.
Let's just do one favorite thing about Elizabeth.
Yeah.
How much she loves little Jack. Like I just love her as a mom.
I love how fearless she is. I wish I could be that fearless.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love how much she cares about everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I mean, sometimes it's to a fault, but at the same time, I'm like, if everybody was just that kind and everybody was just that empathic towards others, I mean,
We wouldn't have as many problems.
yeah.
World would be a better place.
All right. What is your favorite thing about Jack?
Oh gosh.
The way he walks in that research. #CrackUpCammy.
#CrackUpCasey. Oh, look. #CrackUpCaroline. It just happened.
Dang it. Dan.
Oh, okay. Let me preempt this by saying that I firmly believe that Jack Thornton is the perfect man. I can say that without any problems because he's a fictional character.
Mhm.
But when you think about it, that man is perfect. I mean, he really, really is. And there's never going to be another character like him anywhere. I don't care what anybody else says, and so, yeah, he is the perfect man. So trying to pick one thing about him is going to be yikes.
I like how he chops wood.
We like our wood chopping here at the Hearties hotline.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
# wood chopping.
This is gonna. Oh, you got one, Casey?
I do. I like that Jack is. I like that he's in the beginning. He's very. This is gonna sound so weird. He's kind of stoic, because it kind of makes him very mysterious, and he's like super. It's super frustrating as a viewer to be like, "Come on, Jack, come on!" You gotta love him at the same time because he does all these really nice things, like very slyly, you know? Like, we as the watchers, we know it, but as Elizabeth, she doesn't know it.
Right.
Some of the townspeople, they don't know it. So I really like that kind of, you know, I'm gruff and tough and I'm not going to get married, whatever. But inside, he's a big softie.
He is a big softie.
Elizabeth caught his eye.
This is going to sound incredibly corny, and anybody out there who's been listening to me either on the Deliver Me a podcast or just now, they're going to go, typical answer. But I love how romantic that man is. Oh my gosh, be still my heart. Oh.
Mop.
Yeah.
Oh, heart melting right now.
Just candles.
Just thinking about it. Yeah, my heart is being held over all those candles that he lights. Oh my gosh, but that man is so romantic. I mean, I can't say too much because we're gonna be talking about it in the episodes, and I don't want to spoil anything. But I've never seen another man like it, who's supposed to be a real person. You know, of course you have Superman and blah blah blah, the superheroes, but a person who is supposed to be a real person on Earth, I've never seen anyone like him. He is so thoughtful. He is so funny and witty. He is so caring and romantic and just he loves Elizabeth with his entire soul, and he shows it. That is the big thing. He loves her with his entire soul, and he shows it to her all the time, and it just makes me go, Plah. It's just, oh my gosh, I'm getting warm.
All right, Hearties, go get your mops, go get your fans, and then go flood Cammie's Twitter.
Help me out here. Ooh, it's hot in here.
All righty. What about your favorite location in Hope Valley?
The church.
Why?
It's just he used his money to help build a church for Elizabeth. Like, he didn't have the money to do it, and he just did it. I just love it, and all the stuff that happened there. It's just so sweet.
Oh,
and I love seeing the kids in the church, in the school, church school. It's just sweet.
I love the mountaintop.
Ah.
Love the mountaintop. So many special things happen there.
Yeah. Hashtag no spoilers.
Right. I didn't say anything. I just said special.
I know. Before we start gushing, because, you know. Hey, I love that mountaintop too. Oh, I have to say, if I had to pick, I think it's the row houses. I love seeing people in their homes and
in their own space.
In their own space. Yeah. I really enjoy that, especially other couples that we'll get into later that have houses next to others.
Hashtag no spoilers.
We'll get into them in season 2. If you could be a character on the show, who would you be?
Okay, I'm going first on this one.
Go ahead.
Elizabeth. I know that sounds cliche, but I have a very good reason. Daniel Lissing is one of the most talented actors that I have seen on the small screen in a very, very long time. And I even remember going to watch Wonder Woman with my husband, and I was not feeling it with the chemistry between the two of them. I was like, their chemistry is not even as good as Jackson Elizabeth's. That's just sad. You know? But Daniel Lissing is such a talented actor. And as an actor myself, the idea of being on screen with him, you know, I'd play his sister if it meant being in a scene with him. But, you know, but Elizabeth obviously gets the most scenes with him. So I, hands down, I would be Elizabeth if it means getting to act that much with Daniel Lissing and getting to glean what great talent he is. And there is nothing like having a scene partner who's got your back and who throws themselves into a scene as much as you do. And he is somebody who throws himself into a scene, and so you don't have to worry about taking it too far. Like, what are they going to think of me if I go there? You know, just all in. So yeah, absolutely.
Caroline?
I'm going to pick Rosemary so I can be somebody's best friend. No spoilers.
Well, it takes a while for Rosemary to become somebody's best friend, so that's okay.
And to say those one-liners that Pascal does so brilliantly. So
She does. She says some pretty dang good one-liners.
Yeah, I was going to say Rosemary because her character just evolves
Yes.
so much. I'll leave that at that. But writing wise, just her lines are hysterical.
They are.
I mean, obviously there's only one Rosemary, and that is Pascal Hutton.
The one and only.
If I could embody a character, it would definitely be Rosemary for sure. All right, next question. Which characters are you most like? So I said characters because obviously they are they're like the one and only. Like, you can't just be just like all of Elizabeth. You could be like a little bit of Elizabeth, a little bit of Jack, and a little bit of Bill Wagner, Bill Avery.
Wow, we really are mixing reality with fantasy here, aren't we?
Bill Avery played by Jack Wagner.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I've got it.
Okay.
I'm a tiny bit of Abigail. I'm not the leader that she is, but I have had to be. And so when it's come down to it and I've had to take charge, I have. But I also would like to think that I have a very good listening ear to my friends. And if someone needs to talk, then I listen, and I think I'm pretty good at counsel, you know. I would also say that I think I'm a lot like Clara, a little unsure. You know, I act big, and that's the Rosemary in me. I have a lot of dramatic flair, but you never knew, right? What? So I act a lot like Rosemary with the big dramatic flair, but then I'm a little bit like Clara in that I feel things very deeply, and I'm a little quieter and trying to find my place. And when I become settled in a spot and I know who I am and I know what I'm doing and I feel comfortable there, I thrive.
Makes sense.
So I would say those three. There's probably a little bit of Elizabeth in me too, but I won't take everybody up.
I was going to say Elizabeth, just because, like, I think I'm a pretty good friend. I mean, I'm not patting on the back.
I would agree. I would agree.
Thank you. And I'm not, I can bake, but I know Elizabeth can't bake. So probably a little bit of Abigail in that. And I think I'm like a little bit like Nathan. Can I say Nathan?
Yeah, you can say Nathan.
Yeah.
Because no spoilers, but I am like kind of awkward at first. And so I'm like Nathan. But then I'm like I'm like Rosemary. When I get to know people, I'm like, you know, all about it. So I'm those four.
Okay.
Alrighty.
What you got, Casey?
I would have to say I am probably most likely like Lee.
I was gonna say Lee. I was gonna say Lee. You're kind of the voice of reason, you know.
Which
You
is
look good in
really
plaid.
funny. Oh, yeah. You know what? I used to wear a lot of plaid back in the early 2000s.
You're gonna have to bring some of it out.
Oh dear, no. I think those are in Plato's closet, probably in some other preteen ager's closet.
Oh
Yeah.
darn.
Yeah. No, we don't have. I mean, maybe I could probably find some pictures of me in some plaid shorts
There you go.
from like 2007.
Those are the days.
But I would have to say, yeah, I'd have to say Lee, because I do tend to bring the voice of reason out, and I
Yep.
do tend to go, all right, what's going on? Which probably also brings out the Abigail in me
Mhm.
too.
Yep.
With the advice giving and the counsel. I'm an oldest child, so that comes out. And I think a little bit of Rosemary. I think I get a little silly and a little like in the know. People's business.
I mean, what?
And I do like to have fun, so I'm like a little. I would probably say mostly Lee, then split with Abigail and Rosemary.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't think I see any of Elizabeth in me really. She's way too nice. Like, she's a lot nicer than I am.
Let's just say when I was helping my girls with their schoolwork last night, I was not Elizabeth.
Don't say you were Mrs. Thornton.
I was not.
Scary teacher face.
Oh, scary teacher face.
Mrs. Stone? Mr. Stoneman, maybe?
Yeah. Hey.
Last two questions.
Oh man, this is exhausting.
Hey, well, y'all are getting to know us, and you're getting to know Hope Valley.
Oh,
Alrighty.
absolutely.
Would you rather eat in the saloon or the cafe?
Oh, cafe.
I was gonna say cafe.
You
No,
don't want
question.
those like cornbread and chili
Not all the time.
and goulash made from gosh.
Okay. Now hold on. Are we talking about the saloon or are we talking about the Queen of Hearts saloon? Because those are two very different things.
Oh, you're right. Because Queen of Hearts now has a French person making food.
Yes, and the food is much better.
Well, let's just leave that up to y'all.
Hmm.
It doesn't really matter. I mean, whichever version of the saloon or.
Because when you said saloon, I thought of Jack and DeWitt talking. I'll have what he's having. Brave man. Isn't that the chili? Oh, is that what it is?
I'll say cafe.
I'm a cafe person. Abigail's got the coffee, so
Yeah, I'll say coffee.
done answer.
I don't drink coffee, but I don't drink. Period. I don't drink alcohol. So the
I was
saloon.
gonna say, so you're gonna be hanging out at the saloon.
The saloon's not really for me either. I would go to the saloon as a restaurant, for date night. I would go to the saloon for date night to have it be a nice dinner out. But given the atmosphere, I would probably have to go at 6:00, have the nice dinner, and then get out before it became the bar. So I would definitely do the cafe on a regular basis, but an early dinner in the Queen of Hearts saloon every once in a while. Yeah, that would be the splurge date night.
Yeah. Ooh. Or we can just go to Rosemary's.
Rosemary's house with all the food that she cooks for Lee.
Yeah, and he like literally takes a bite and then leaves.
That poor man. That poor woman. Oh.
Last question, and it goes into a little bit of some spoiler, but we'll try to keep it spoiler free.
Yeah.
Who would you rather work for?
Oh,
Gowan of the past or Gowan of the future? Lucas, who comes in later seasons, Leland Coulter, or Yost? at the Mercantile. And Lee would be the lumberyard if y'all didn't know.
Can I do the Mercantile so I can know everyone's like hear all the gossip
Absolutely.
and hear Florence? Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take the Mercantile for 200, Alex. I'd go Lee. I'd go Lee. He is steady.
I was gonna say steady.
He is steady. He is stalwart. He is honest. He deals fairly with all of his employees. He never steers them wrong. And he also doesn't serve alcohol, so it doesn't compromise my standards. So yeah, I'd go Lee.
I agree. I'd go Lee too, just because he appears to be a really good boss.
Yeah.
And he's not even just, all right, men, and then he's like gone. He invests in them. I mean, he mentors them, and we get into that a lot late in like later seasons. We see that with other characters. Just the way he cares for those folks. It's just very, I don't know. It's just good to see. I would want a boss like that.
Yeah. I mean, we're not going to get into this until much later, and so I'm just going to say a teeny tiny little bit about it. But when funds were short, the man offered to pay his workers out of his own pocket.
So sweet.
I mean, if they needed an advance, that's true character right there.
Yeah.
And not to mention, and we'll get into this later, but not to mention, at first he saves the dang town. I mean,
yeah, we get into that.
He really did. Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He's just a great guy.
Yeah.
He really is just a great guy.
He's very underrated.
He is. He is. My husband doesn't like the show, but he likes Lee, which is really ironic because he hates Rosemary. He nicknames her the devil. But
I mean, no comment for season 1, but
I know. But he loves Lee, and he loves Kevin as an actor. So he just said, man, that guy could go and do anything, and he's sticking with the show. That's so cool. He just thinks that he's such a talented actor, and he loves the character of Lee. So he said, it's a crying shame that Lee isn't the main character of When Calls the Heart, because then I'd watch with you a lot more often. And then I go, dang it. And then I go, oh, phew, because then I don't have to deal with your comments.
Oh, that's too funny. It's true though. It's true.
It's very true.
I get the peanut gallery sometimes too when I'm watching.
Don't get me started.
Yeah. That's it.
Whew, we made it.
We made it. Thanks for playing along. I threw some random ones out there that I know you guys were not prepared for. The questions just kept coming, and I was like, this is kind of fun.
So now we need to ask our listeners, what are your answers?
Yes.
What are your answers to all of those?
Yes. Since we're all new here on the socials, you can find our podcast, and it's very simple, on Instagram and on Twitter, the same name. It's just at Hearties Hotline. So go find us. Yeah, that's us. Find us. We will be sure to keep you in the know for anything Hearties related, podcast related, etc., etc., etc. Share with your friends. Tag Hearties Hotline wherever you're listening. And we have some other exciting news, but we can't share too much, but we can say we are doing a giveaway. So
Thanks to our friends at Edify Films.
Yay!
Yay!
More details to come soon. So stay tuned. We will be dropping that information on Twitter and on one of the podcast episodes. You just have to keep watching and it'll be a fun one. So
Yes, we will.
stay tuned. Also, you can find all of us on social media if you have not found us already. Cami, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Cami Drama Girl, and Cami is spelled Kami, in case you were wondering. You can find me on Facebook with the Hooked Hardy Facebook page, and my blog is hookedhardy.com. My blog is currently experiencing some problems, so if you go there and you get locked out, it's because we're having technical issues, but it will be back up soon.
And Caroline, where can people find you?
At Twitter, at MediCarolineR.
You can find me on Twitter at Hallmark My Words. And as I start rewatching this show, I might start, tweeting, live-ish tweeting, live Casey tweeting. But go make sure you are following all of us, follow the podcast, and we will be back again with our
Hopefully you will too.
And stay tuned for our very special guest. Should we just tell him now?
Oh, why not?
All right. You want to say it on 3? 1, 2, 3.
Brian Bird.
Yay!
We get Mr. Papa Hardy himself. Yay!
Yes, and he shares a lot of scoop about the makings of Flying Falls to the Heart, the movie, the show. He tells his story about just like his writing, and it's just an incredible conversation that we had. We actually had to break it up into 2 parts because
it was that amazing.
It was just so inspiring to talk to Brian Bird, and we're just so grateful that he was willing to come onto the podcast and share his story with us, and we are just so excited for you to hear all of that. So come back next week.
Yes, please.
Any final words for the Hearties?
Our hearts called us here. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.